So you want to have kids now?
I mean, yes, I would want to have, but that's besides the point. We need to find a guy first. Anyway, yeah, back to the point. The thing is, just
Any
suddenly...
guys looking for a girlfriend?
Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Slice of Life. My name is Nivaa, and on this show, I learn how to cook dishes that are significant to my guests. Today, it brings me great honor to introduce to you our new guest. I am actually very nervous, but our guest for today is the Member of Parliament, Mr. Louis Ng.
Hello everyone, I promise I won't bite. My name is Louis, I'm the MP for Nee Soon GRC and also the Chairman for the Government Parliamentary Committee for Sustainability and the Environment. I'm the founder of Acres, used to be the Chief Executive, but I since stepped down. Also the father of 3 monkeys, daughters. But thank you so much for inviting me on your show.
Thank you for coming, Mr.
Louis.
Louis. Okay.
Mr. sounds too old.
Louis, so tell us, what dish do you have for us to cook today?
One of my favorite food really is hot dogs. So today we're going to have Beyond Hot Dogs. Obviously it's vegetarian, I've been vegetarian for half my life now. I used to love turtle soup, but then one day I watched a documentary about how people were really saving turtles in the wild, and here I was eating them. So at 14, I decided I would take my first step and stop taking turtle soup. I started to remove one meat item every year. Shark's fin, seafood, poultry, and 20 years ago I became full vegetarian.
Do you like vegetables?
No, not at all. So I'm a weird vegetarian that doesn't like vegetables. But tried my best, so you see down there's a tomato and onion. That's as far as I can go for now.
Alright, so tell us about today's dish. What do we need and how do we get started?
For this recipe, you will need a Beyond Meat original sausage, extra fine wholemeal hot dog buns, fresh tomatoes, fresh onions, olive spread, mustard, and tomato sauce.
Sounds like something I can do.
Can't screw it up, this one. To make this dish, first dice the tomatoes and onions. They said you're supposed to cut it under running water, right? Then you won't get...
How do you cut it under running water? Wait, isn't that wasting water?
Good point. I never said that, so take it out of there.
Gotcha!
I'll get you back now.
So, are the onions diced enough?
Not too bad, but maybe I'll help a bit.
That means it's bad lah.
No, it says politically correct. Let me just help a bit.
Politically correct.
Fry the tomatoes and onions together in a pan with a sprinkle of salt and pepper. Cook the sausage on a non-stick pan for 6 minutes. Looks good.
How can you tell if it's cooked? Do you have to poke it?
So the good news is even if it's not cooked, it's just plant.
You won't get food poisoning, right?
You've been in trouble if we all get food poisoning. Apply olive spread on the hot dog bun. Put the sausage on the bun and tomatoes and onions on top of it. Serve with your preferred side dish. For me, it's a generous serving of oven-baked French fries.
It's very much like a... I wouldn't say chicken hot dog, but I would say a meat hot dog.
And very nicely cooked.
So on a scale of 1 to 5, you need to rate my dish.
Do you want the truth or?
You can afford to give me like a very honest review here.
4.5.
Not bad.
See? Not bad.
Not
really
bad.
not bad.
What do you think I should have done?
I think you need to dice the onions and tomatoes a bit more. A bit chunky, right?
When you want to have a mouthful, it's like all falling out. How was it like transitioning to vegetarian?
So it took me some time to get used to it, but I'm a very stubborn person. I really never give up. When I remove all the chicken, beef, that really was a difficult phase. But I guess the difficulty really was the social setting. So that's what my dad always used to say, it's so difficult to go out here and eat now. Can't go to your usual restaurants.
Yeah.
So that was probably the more difficult part. But again now, it's changed a lot in the last 2 decades where it's so much easier. You know, you walk into almost any restaurant, there will be a plant-based or vegetarian alternative.
Why do you think people should turn to this kind of diet? Why should they become vegetarian? Why should they even explore this kind of dishes?
One, obviously, is animal welfare. 2, is really environmental. It's good for climate change. You don't need to go full plant-based, but you know, if you go plant-based once a week, that really helps the planet as well. And obviously, the last and most important is your own health. A plant-based diet is obviously a better diet than a meat-based one.
What is one issue that you find very difficult to tackle?
I speak out a fair bit for refugees. That's a topic close to my heart because I visited the refugee camps and I really seen how the people living there in fear. You know, these are people without a country. When I first stepped foot on a refugee camp in Bangladesh. I arrived at the same time as this lady who was carrying her baby and a little girl, and she spoke about how her husband had been killed and she hid in the forest, and it's so foreign to us, and that's why I think there's difficulty. They're fighting for something that most of us take for granted, citizenship. You know, I continue to speak up about this, and I believe that more and more people become aware. And I always use that quote, there is no us or them, only us. One human family connected in ways we sometimes forget. It's not a new problem, and that's why sometimes it frustrates me that I can't do more to help them.
How are the, let's say, the youth, are they reciprocating whatever issues that's happening in our society?
So 10 years ago when I go to dialogue sessions, it was very depressing. I always remember they had to put the SMS number and then people would text a message. The moderator read me the question. I would say, I'm sitting right here, you don't dare to ask me questions. I can see that they're stepping beyond that boundary of how this will help me, but how this will help society and other people.
There are people out there who are not politically involved, but they want to be part of social changes, they want to know what's happening and everything. How do they get involved?
So again, that's the beauty of Singapore now. We have a whole wide variety of NGOs out there. In fact, with ACRES, volunteers really are the core pillar of our organisation. Without them, we wouldn't be able to succeed. So go out there, explore, and that's where I started off. I started off when I was 14, volunteering at SPCA. I gained a lot of experience through volunteering.
Do you have any advice for these youths who are trying to make a change in our community?
So be constructive, passionate as always, but constructive and not destructive. So offer solutions rather than just criticisms, and I think that goes a long way. And fight for what you believe in.
Okay.
Like you, choose a job that you love and you'll never work a day.
Yay! Louis, I've learned so much from you today. Thank you for all these insights, and thank you for teaching me how to cook your favorite
I've learned
dish.
a lot from you too.
Did you enjoy yourself here?
Yeah, absolutely. Enjoyed the food, enjoyed the company.
If you've enjoyed this conversation as much as we did,
Follow at This Is Scope on Instagram and Facebook for more meaningful content on social issues.
bye!
You have to finish it.
Yeah, I have to finish it.
I'm watching too.